Hello. One moment. You come in waves, waves, waves. Every hour, every day. I can't even do that right now. Like my falsetto is horrible right now. That's why I'm drinking this tea. Lemon and honey. I'm supposed to be going to the studio tomorrow to record my songs finally that I've been writing. Oh, look who has biceps. Stop, kind of. This one is bigger than this one because this is like my dominant hand, arm. But anyway, so we are here. It is Friday. All right. Hopefully everybody got their checks. If this is your week to get paid, all right, get, and I know that most of us live paycheck to paycheck, and so we have to, you know, we could probably only use about a quarter of whatever we make a week anyway, because most of it is going to bills and everything else. Thank God for tax returns because my ass is so behind on some bills right now. I cannot wait until I get my return. Apparently, it's already like approved and everything. So I'm supposed to be getting my tax returns on um, on Monday. It says it should be deposited by Monday, and there's like, oh, if by the 24th you still don't have it in your account, like let us know. And I'm like, it better be there. I'm not playing with you. I need that money. I need that money really bad. Mm. But am I okay? So as the title of the video says, I finally got the chance to watch the Waves video. I decided not to do a reaction, mostly because I'm I'm so tired. Like no, I wouldn't really have the energy to sit there and watch the video in front of, like, when I was watching it, I was just watching, like literally just watching and taking it all in. And I feel like that's kind of how a reaction would go because you want to like catch everything, it's not one of those videos that you can like be like, oh my god, look at that, look at that, look at that. No, 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 no. Literally, like I sat there and I was just like this the whole time because the visuals were, oh my god, it was great, and I love the choreography that they had. It scared Justin. Um, the choreography they had, it was good too. It went along with the beat. They even the subtleties in the beat, how the 808 go dum dum dum, like they would move like, I'm like, oh my gosh. And when they go the body roll, I was like, oh shoot. I was like, come on now, like Normani, she did that. Hmm. She really did that. I have to take my hat off to her. She really, really, well, I'm not taking this hat off. I'm not taking this hat off right now. That's not happening. But definitely Normani, she really did that. She really did it. I don't, why am I itching? Am I breaking out from something? I'm scared. Day. Okay, now let me turn on live chat because for some strange reason, hello Erica, Robin, everyone's tuning in. Mm, yes, I actually just bought some tea today. I told him, I was like, let me stop at the market so I can get some tea. Oh my god, what the hell? I'm like actually like something. I'm like itchy here, but I don't even see a bump. It's not like hives. I don't know. My body is like changing or something. Um, when I see the number of views, I get discouraged because I feel like the Stan world will never fully embrace a black girl. I mean, I don't know. We can't really say that at this point because Normani has a huge fan base. I mean, we can't even. I mean, there's people of every single like race, ethnicity following her. It's at 2.1 million right now. And it was released 3 days ago. That's actually not bad considering she is technically still like she's technically a new artist. Um that's really good. 2.1 million. I'm still trying to get one of my videos to 20,000. It's close though. It's the Zara Larson video. Like I feel like Zara Larson really goes off on this channel. People love when I do Zara on here. I'm black. I appreciate it. Listen, Normani is somebody that the culture needs right now. Uh, her, her, actually, Normani, her, Chloe, and Halle, they're definitely like they're definitely women for the culture. And the thing is about them is that there's people of other races that follow them and who love them just as much as we do, and they really appreciate their talent. Like the fact that they actually have talent it's really sad that we actually have to deduce whether or not like we actually have like celebrate talent in the way that we do because there's so many people out there right now who really just don't have it, and it's really bad. 2019 will be her year. Hopefully 2019 is everyone's year. I want it to be her year. I want it to be my year. That's why I'm heading to the studio this weekend. Mm, I really, really but yeah. So everything. Oh gosh, I'm like, you guys don't understand how tired I am right now. The fact that I even can sit here and talk to you is amazing in itself because I have this week has been kind of crazy. Not only like my job, but also the weather. Like almost every day this week, I've had to fight the weather, and I'm just like, oh my god, it's kind of ridiculous. And I hear we're getting more snow in the weekend. This isn't it. Oh my god. Why are you repping New Jersey? Oh, my hat. I'm a transit baby all day, all day, all day. Um, my mom works for them. She 20, 25, 26 years, something like that. Yeah, she's been working there for a minute. She gave me this hat actually. They gave it to her as like a thank you thing. That and it's like a scarf and gloves with the logo on it. And I hold on. I'm so tired of missing that bus. You better be on time. Please. A lot of times they're late. Like except the ones that be working with my mother. My mother always she always made sure she was on time. Really having the snow. The New York had snow though, but you see they work harder in cleaning and stuff. I live in Pennsylvania, so like it's like and in the mountain, like it's no joke over here. Like it's everywhere else is raining, it's snowing here. So, mm. But it's not that bad. I mean, well, it can be. It's just you just gotta know what you gotta know. Like you gotta plan ahead, leave early. Um, but yeah, New Jersey Transit. I used to have like a toy bus when I was younger. I used to want to be a bus driver. Fun fact about me. Um, that's what I said. The city they clean up so fast around here. Oh my god, you're lucky if you see like one truck ride by all day long. Like it's really sad. Like Justin didn't have he didn't have school for 2 days this week, and last week they had 3 days. Justin, how many days did you have off last week?
I don't know. I forgot.
Was it like 2 or 3 days? How many?
I think it was two. I
And
mean, no, three.
three, and you had off 2 days this week. They they ain't gonna have no damn spring break. What, did you drop something?
Yeah.
No, that's so bad too, and I feel like that's why I'm like breaking out and stuff because it's like horrible. Every time it snows, after the snowstorm, it's like hot the next day. It's like 50 degrees and stuff. I'm like, what the hell? Like it's like spring the next day, then winter, then spring, then winter. I don't know whether to put on the clothes. Like I don't know. I'm so confused. Mm-mm. Listen, that's a lot. Anyway, let's get into some of these topics. Okay, so we're talking about waves. I really did love the video. I mean, the aesthetics. I just knew it would be like that because a lot of people were expecting, oh, her being on a beach or whatever. She was on a beach, but homegirl was not on the beach on Earth. She was on the freaking moon. She was out in space. She's like, I'm not even of this world. Y'all just gonna have to keep up. I'm like, damn. I was like, she's it's like you see her like, and she's on this bed. Her and Black, they're on this bed in the middle of the ocean. But then at the end, they do a pan out, and it's the moon. I'm like, what the hell? They in some random planet somewhere in the ocean on another planet. I'm just like, no, like what? Are you serious right now? It was good. It was really good. I really like that. And I feel like it didn't really take much money to do that either. Like you could do a lot with like some green screen editing and all that stuff. And some computer, some CGI, a little bit of this, a little bit of that, and then she only had like what 3 4 dancers. So I feel like the dance like it was it was probably like kind of difficult to get it together, but it probably wasn't that bad, and it probably didn't cost that much money. And I think that she was involved a lot with the editing process too. So I mean, homegirl is she's really that soup was for you, Normani. I loved it. I really did like it. Um, and I can't wait for some more videos for her. So, like I just, we need more music. We need more music. Although I am getting a little sick of people every single time she releases something. Oh my God, we need more. We need more. Yes, we do, but let her work. Okay, I've been saying this about everything. I've been saying this. I was like, let her work. Let her do what she needs to do. Okay. Right. It wasn't high budget, but it was high concept. A lot of times you don't need a huge budget to really make an impact. A lot of the best videos didn't really cost that much to make. It's just the person with a little bit of creativity, just a tiny bit of money and a lot of creativity, you can do so much. You can stretch that out. Um, so I mean, hey, I want to see her open for Ariana, but have you seen those ticket prices? I mean, it's Ariana Grande. That's the reason I haven't even looked at what the tickets might cost because I know I'm not getting in. I've got bills to pay. Okay, that's the reason why I was sitting up there going to JoJo concerts because I knew that I could get her tickets for like $30. Um, so I was not trying to mess around with no damn hell no, and that's why I went to June's Diary. I said I'm choosing people who are on this level here, not up here. I'm going right here. I'm trying to mess around going on Ariana Grande concert. I don't even like Ariana that much to go to her concert. I would just be going for Normani. So I bought like purchase a ticket for like a couple $100s in order to see Normani for like a half hour and then leave. Like no, it's not gonna happen. I love how much respect Normani has among the artists. Yeah, honestly, and that's what I really really do like about her. You never hear anybody talking about Normani negatively, except the racist people who still call her monkey and everything else, and they're just gonna be who they are regardless. Um, but none of the other artists that have talked about Normani have talked about her negatively at all. You never hear, oh, she's a diva or she does this or she does that negative. Like you don't hear that because she is genuinely a good person. People want to see a Normani and Ariana collaboration. I mean, I wouldn't be mad at that. It might happen. It might happen. Um, I don't know if they, well, maybe they mesh well together, but I'm not sure. But you know what? It is what it is. It's a good tour to be on because a lot of people are going to be there. It's Ariana Grande, so it's a good platform for her to really to really catapult herself. And then yeah, I hope she continues to songwrite so she can get that coin. Listen, you and I tell people this all the time, okay? Because someone someone in my life right now we talk about this all the time, and I always say, sometimes I think about just being a producer and songwriter rather than an artist because a lot of time you make more money doing that, and you don't have to worry about the incredible stress of you know having to put on a show all the time. I mean, it's fun. Performing is really fun, but sometimes it can be taxing on your mind, your mental stability, and all that. So I'm just like, for the people who actually just sit there and they just work around music and they just produce and work in the behind the scenes, a lot of times they make a lot more money than the artist does because the artist has to give them a percentage of whatever they make, and then they continue to make royalties. It's like residual income for yourself for the rest of your life. For as long as that song is living, you will get some money off of that song. I feel like that's the reason why Tinashe, because she's written for a lot of people too. I feel like that's the reason why Tinashe doesn't really care too much if her albums do that. Well, no, she cares, but I feel like she's able to keep herself afloat because of the fact that she also produces and writes for other people. Um, and so does like people like hold on. Oh, I shouldn't have had that Chinese food. Um, people like Neo and you wonder why like people like Neo and Jesse McCartney and stuff they haven't been around, and it's not because they're not doing music anymore. It's because that they are still doing music, but they're writing and producing things that they love to do, and they're not necessarily in the forefronts. But that doesn't mean they're not working, and it doesn't mean they're not making money. Well, Jesse McCartnney, we know that he's been busy. I mean, he voices two characters on Kingdom Hearts, and he also voices. He's been doing the voice acting thing. You hear his voice on a lot of stuff. Kingdom Hearts, and what's it? Young Justice. He voices Nightwing slash Robin. Um, yeah, so I mean, it definitely it's worth it to dive into other things besides just performing and singing and rapping, whatever you do. And it's definitely a lot of money in it for you. I know that if any of my songs ever make it big, mainstream, or whatever have you, most of that money is going to be to me because Resume. Well, so these are songs that I haven't released yet, but Need You is the only song that I've released that is going to actually be a little bit of a thing because I'm the only the artist on it. My mom wrote it, produced it, and then somebody else co-produced it with the beat and everything and mixed it down. That's that. All the other songs coming after that, I wrote and produced. So that's great for me anyway. Um, so yeah, it's really important for you to get into other things like writing and producing when you do music because it's easier for you and it's also easier for uh, everybody around you as well. You don't have to have such a huge team, you know. I mean, yeah, it's not necessarily easy writing your own music and producing your music, but it's worth it in the long run to learn how to do it. This is the thing. Normani is a queen. I'll keep saying her team needs to do more. She should be on hair ads, commercial, late night shows. If you don't keep putting yourself out there, people don't care. This is true. It goes along with the fact that people's attention spans are very short these days. Um, the runs on what song? What song? What runs on what song? Hold on. I feel like. Oh, you actually listened to Need You. Ah, he's talking about my song Need You. It's on Spotify and iTunes. Uh, oh, listen. The runs. I mean, I don't really do I do that much? I guess I did. I'm trying to think now. How'd you really without a fight? You know that I really love you. Yeah, I guess I do the runs. It's funny. I didn't realize that I did that much in that song uh, until somebody mentioned it to me. They're like, "Oh wow, the runs." I'm like, "The runs? What runs?" I guess it comes and goes for me. It depends on, I guess, how I'm feeling. But with that song, it was written by my mom, and the original part of the song, it had those runs in the the verses had those runs in it. The day you left me, I was a mess. The way you held me in your caress. How could you leave me without her? Those runs were there already. I just Thank you. I feel like I feel like a celebrity right now because somebody knows my song. Why did you have to go away? When I listen, I am trying to get into this open mic so I can perform the song live again. All of the times that I performed this song live, the video footage was so bad. I want to do because I switch things up a little bit when I sing it live, like I'm Brandy. Um, I switch things up a little bit when I sing it live, so it's not like it's not like like the track, especially because the way that they did it when I was gone out of the room. They always like to do things, and they always like do things against my without me knowing. And so if you noticed, the first chorus and second chorus had the same ad libs, and that's not really what I wanted. And I was like, why? It's so repetitive. I don't like it. The I do need you, please you. Oh, that that part there, that shouldn't be there twice, but it's there twice, and I just said, okay, let it go. Because she's like, oh, it sounded so empty in the first. I was like, well, I could have recorded some new ad libs, but it's okay because when I perform it live, it's different anyway. Like I don't even do the same ones. Oh, my voice is coming back though. I just realized I have not been able to sing like much of anything. That's the washing machine in the background. If you hear that, mm, okay, that's the end of the tea. But I have some raw honey. That's really working in there too. If you ever do like tea with honey, lemon, whatever, make sure you get some raw honey. I mean, it's a little expensive. Like that bottle of raw honey, I got the local honey from the area. Um, that jar of honey costs about $13. It is a lot, but it's worth it because you really do help your sinuses. And with me, I have really, really bad sinus issues, so I need that honey to work its magic so that I can get myself out there. This is fun, but I can't wait to share it because, I've been sharing like Resume, and I've even my new intro is a song that I've been working on called "I Got You," and I can't wait to actually put that on. But I need to really I gotta first of all I gotta get to a studio because I'm not that great at mixing. You already know when I released my cover for "Don't Touch Me. If you haven't checked that out, because I did post it on here. But when I um, when I did that, I kind of just gave up because I was just like I was having issues with the mixing, and I was just like, oh my god, just go, go, go. And I was like, let me just put it out and not procrastinate anymore. And it kind of sounded a mixing mess. It was kind of a mess, but I just put it out there so that people know that I'm actually doing something. Um, how often do you warm up, vocalize? Every damn day. I think that I start off my day singing. I do. I really do. Like usually, I start off most days with like "Joyride" by Tinashe because it works on the lows. Oh, tell me what you're looking at, baby. Because she sings really, really low in that song. So it's usually that song. I'm usually singing some Brian McKnight for the falsetto if I need to do that. No, but there's no juice. Justin, there's juice on the side of the refrigerator. Just put some ice in it. Fine, you can have a little bit of soda. Lucky that it's 7 Up with no sugar. Um, but yeah, no, I'm always singing like to the point where it annoys everybody around. But yeah, no, I can't wait to really like because I've been wanting to release Resume since last year, and people know this because I've been teasing it. I was teasing it to release it, and then we were advised not to actually release it because we don't want it to like. Well, obviously it would flop because there's not that many people who follow me, who know me for doing music. So, um, but I still wanted to do it because it's a way for me to put myself out there. And Resume is actually the first song that I actually it's not the first song that I've written, but it's the first song that I actually laid down that I've written. Any other songs that I've written haven't actually made it into the studio to record and actually put it out there. But that was the first song that I actually got to do that with. So it's really special to me in that way. Then I have other songs like No Rush. If you remember my old intro, like the EDM ish kind of sound, that is No Rush. That's actually my favorite one that I've done because it's like a fusion of trap R&B and EDM. And then I have a straight up EDM song that also misses a little bit of trap in it, but it's called No Good. If you know, like the intro that I use for Beyond the Music, the that that is No Good. And then the one that I've been featuring lately with the last couple of videos that I put out, that is I Got You. And there's other songs that I feature on this channel too. But see, that's what I say. Like, and Need You was the very first intro that I had. Before I released Need You, I was teasing that the entire time. You guys pretty much know all the music that I'm going to release before I actually release it because I use it as my intros. I mean, I'm not, I guess it's subtle, but it's not. But what? You can't open it? Bring it.
Finally beat it tangled. And I finally defeated that boss too.
Don't shake it like that.
Sorry. I finally defeated that heartless boss. I finally did. I use record now.
Hold on. Okay, it's 7 o'clock. Resume. Yeah, no, people need Resume. I need Resume to be out there because it's a good song. I mean, people like it when they hear it. It's like it gives you that '90s, 2000s R&B vibe. It's very smooth. Uh, we got completely off topic. I started talking about myself. It feels like midnight. It does. Well, to me, I'm so damn tired. I gotta get a haircut. This is the reason why I'm wearing this hat too, because my hair, it's bad. Because I wear like a face mask over my head and stuff, and it just kind of messes everything up here. And I just don't feel like I put the leave-in conditioner at night, but it's not enough. I have to really just get my hair done, and I'm gonna do a deep condition. After I get my hair done, I'm gonna wait about a day. On Sunday, I'll do a deep condition, um, like the Cantu mask, hair mask. Put that in there, let it like soak in, so I can get my curls back because I miss that. Really, Black has me music. Oh, I want to. I wanted him to get a Grammy. Like Black is so like to me, he's not. It's not that he's underrated. It's just that he's like right outside of like underground, but he's still mainstream. If you get what I mean, it's like I don't know, but there's something about Black that oh, in that video though. Normani, I just hold on. Oh God. But I'm gonna listen to it. Mushroom chocolate. Mm. I don't like mushrooms, but I like chocolate. We're six lakh. I hate you. I hate when people call him 6 lakh. 6 lakh. That's oh god. 6 lakh is okay. I hate it. The scene with him and Norma. I know. I was like, okay. It's like, all right, okay. I mean, you can't blame people for mispronouncing. I know it's supposed to be like, a little like stylized thing. Like the six is supposed to be technically a beat, but that's also still six because of the. But like, I mean, you can't really do that. uh, but yeah, no, like when Waves came out and I got to like, then that's when I really started listening to Black like on his own because at first I only really I knew of his existence, but I didn't really listen to any of his music. But I'm glad that I actually took out the time to listen to his music because he's really talented. He has a good sound. I mean, he's like Bryson Tiller if Bryson Tiller had. Let me not. I'm not gonna do that. That's not nice. No, I'm kidding. No, it wasn't anything bad, but it's still not something I really want to say. Action apart. Who's Janet? Hold on. Who? Hold on. Um, that's weird. I don't. Okay. Anyway, uh, I'm sorry. The industry seems to have a lot of space for mediocre white artists within the same genre, but the black men singing R&B and pop, they only seem to push Khalid and not others with him. Khalid cannot sing. Listen. Hold on. Sorry, it's hard to catch my eye. Mhm. Listen, I don't know what he be doing sometimes, especially when he sings live, but I'm like, why? Like, why does it sound like he's in pain? I just, I'm not the greatest singer ever, but I know what good singing sounds like. because I am surrounded by them every single damn day. But like, no, like and the thing is, I want to support him so bad because like Issa Rae said, I'm rooting for everybody black. But at the same time, like just because he's black, it doesn't mean I'm going to like. I just hope Normani carves out. Well, Normani is definitely an artist, the artist to watch. So people are going to be watching, and unlike her and Ella May and the rest of them, Normani gets it. She gets down. Like she dances and everything else. So she already has a one up on the rest of them. SZA apparently dances, but I have not. Has she? Listen, SZA sometimes gets me a little bit because she has the voice, but sometimes when she's live, I don't get it from her. You know what I mean? And so when it comes to SZA, it's always kind of like an issue. I like her and then I don't at the same time or at different times. She said, "Oh, stop." She said, "I don't have time for Ariana Grande to be the white face of black music." I can't stand an overly stylized vocal. An overly styled. I love how you put it like so nicely. An an overly stylized vocal. Oh God. You're a man is her man is my man. Oh God. I sometimes I don't get it. Uh oh, oh. I don't know why she sings with this like accent like she's freaking from the UK. I'm like, ma'am, ma'am, you from Maplewood, New Jersey. What are you talking? Like what? I don't know where she gets this like singing style from. When she's like, do you sound like that? Being from Jersey, like I don't get it. Like what is going on? Uh, right. It always sounds like her voice, like she's like ruining her vocal cords doing that because it sounds extremely scratchy. And I don't know. Is it really worth it? I try not to. I don't try when I say well, obviously I try to do it with technique with a proper technique, but at the same time I don't try to make my voice sound a certain way. If you don't like the way my voice sounds, then fine. But um, I'm not going to try and change it to fit to fit what everybody else is listening to. I say the same thing to Sia, Camila, Alessia Cara. Who else? They all have like similar tones, and it never sounds like they are using the bet. Like it's just, I don't know. They don't open their mouth. I mean, I guess to be I don't know. They don't use their stomach. Yeah, you can tell that some of them are like because they sound very throaty, and it does sound like they're not going with the diaphragm. Like I know sometimes that I can be nasally when I sing, but like the thing is, I'm like really working on it. Somebody just commented, "Oh, people are still commenting on some of my old videos from when Normani was on Dancing with the Stars, and people are upset because, I had something to say about the tango and what they were doing as the tango, and basically like referring to the way that Len was judging them and educating them, or the people who don't really know that much about music who follow me, about what certain terms mean. And somebody gonna call me an American know-it-all. I'm like, girl. I was like, first of all, this video is from 2017. They're like people. When people commented on my video from that long ago and are so upset, I'm just like, look at the date, like, and then look at videos from recent videos. I'm not even the same person, like barely. Um, Let me see. Let's not mention that c word here. Oh no, stop. I can already tell Normani is having trouble breaking out even with the support. It's sad. White people don't support black acts and same with black people. I see it. I see a lot of gays on Twitter support C. Listen, this is one who is not. Can I sip to that? Oh, it's cold now. People don't stick around for girls. It's sad. It's sad. You can't really get. Oh, while we're on that topic, and that's something that I actually wanted to talk about real quick, since you mentioned the gay community, can we talk about the fact that Troy Sivan is a hypocrite because okay, so how are you gonna sit up there and say, oh, I don't like to be one of, like, I don't like artists who, try to have people pity them, or I don't like it when they like are like what did he I forgot the words he used, but basically when somebody tries to blame something else and make excuses for why they aren't where they are, instead of just themselves. And then he proceeds to put it out there that he feels like if he weren't so in your face gay, that he would be more successful. Hold on, I'm going to do a spin. So basically, he is saying that if he were what, still in the closet, or if he, didn't write songs about other dudes, that he would be more successful. Mm-mm. Maybe it's because you approach your music the same way each time. Thank you. Yes, I was just about to say that. Majority of the people who follow him because he is a gay icon, because he is someone who is openly gay, because he is comfortable with his links to the LGBT community, because he will get in a video. Yes, he said that. Because he will get in a video and have his love interest be another dude. Because he is able to do that, a lot of people flock to him because they also want to feel that kind of comfort, that kind of confidence to do so. And for you to sit up there and basically say, because that you are this person, you are less successful than you want to be. Boy, first of all, your success is equated to the fact that you are gay. So sorry, you're invalid. Your entire thing is invalid. And if you want to be more, um, he's famous for being gay. Well, yeah, he's a white gay. So I mean, that's all. I mean, that's all you really have to say. Thank you. Okay. I don't like it when artists do that. It's like, if you aren't successful, there are multiple reasons why an artist isn't successful. The main reason, and I'm not going to list all of them because you get into that, the whole team thing and how well you're being promoted. Majority of the time, it has to do with the sound. If it's not something that people are really listening to, if it's not something that people will be interested in, then nobody's gonna really listen to your music like that. I have not really heard too much of Troy Sivan. I've heard a few songs, and they were like okay, but it wasn't anything that I was like, oh my god. Like no, there was nothing like that. Court the mainstream. Right. Okay. So if you can't make it one way, you usually make it with another. If you don't have like a big, like huge team backing you like that, then you usually have a huge, like a really good sound and everything. But when you have neither, it makes it more difficult for you to really break mainstream. But the thing is, he has been mainstream before. The only reason why we're even talking about him is because he is somewhat mainstream. It's because people know who he is. The only reason why he's able to come out and say all of this stuff and people actually like pay attention to it. Hey, hello, you are a public figure. You have millions of followers all over the world. Don't say that you're not successful. Appreciate what you have right now and work to make it better if you really want it to be better. Approach your music a different way. When it comes to art, art is subjective, so a lot of times you are going to have to, you know, rethink, reevaluate what it is that you're doing, what is your sound, what is it like, what direction you're going into. Even though it's nice for an artist to be free, if you really want to be successful and you want more people to follow you, then you have to appeal to what they want. But at the same time, listen, I wish I had half of the success that Troy Sivan has. I'm just saying. There are so many artists out here, and it sounds so, I don't know, it just sounds so ungrateful to me because, his music is boring. I hate you so much. But I mean, I can't disagree. None of the songs that I've heard really have like moved my spirit to the point where I really want to follow him outside of him. That's the thing. Like a lot of people do follow him because of his openly gayness. Like that's like the main reason. Not a lot of people that I know of really follow him for the music too much. Like what does he mean? I don't know. Maybe it's the money. Maybe it's the fame. Maybe he wants to be more famous. Maybe he wants to be so much more well known. But I'm just like, okay, but um, you're selling records. You are a public figure. You have a check mark on Instagram. First of all, I don't understand how it just comes off as being very ungrateful for what you had. Do you know how many people out there, how many artists out there who are struggling to even get like a few people? Sweet XO just released a lyric video for No Ho. I have to do my video on Sweet XO. Um, but yeah, so do you know how many people out there, how many artists out there are struggling to get their voice heard, to get their music heard, their sound heard? And you have it. You have the ear of a lot of people, and you're sitting up there and kind of taking it for granted. I'm just like, no. And that's how you know, like, people really just are never satisfied because, we're just not gonna, we're gonna move on. Let me see. She will be fine. She has radios. Oh, let me see. Becoming an Iggy or Megan Trainor. Look at her Grammy opener production. Good, but boring as hell. People are over her already. C will be fine. She has radio support. Let's not concern ourselves with her. Oh, stop. Said my mom was watching the Grammys and she was asking who Camila was, and she said she didn't like what she did behind the girls' back. A lot of people are still not over what she did to the girls. Um. Okay. On that note, for Camille, okay, so she, yes, that performance was. I'm sorry, but that performance, and first of all, she has performed like we get it. That's your like your main song, but there were so many other songs that she could have possibly done. Like, oh my god, I'm getting tired of hearing Havana. Oh my god, sorry. At this point, the song is so played out. I'm just like, oh my god, just move on. Um, people are tired of it. People are kind of tired. And that's the thing. And you know what? I said this back when she first released Havana. Back when she first released, and then she was getting all the success, all these awards, everything else. I said, I was like, it's very dangerous. I said, and the thing is, I wasn't even being spiteful. I wasn't being shady. I was being real. I said, a lot of times when people skyrocket to fame like that, to worldwide success, a lot of the time it does not last too long because it's like you're a passing phase. Like look at Megan Trainor and Iggy Azalea. There's not that many people rocking with them right now. They've had success with the first couple of singles that they had. Their albums did well, but then after that, that's it. Not too many people, like, people still rock with them and stuff, but like it's not as crazy as it used to be. I don't know if Iggy Azalea will see another number one. You know what I mean? Like, I'm not saying that she won't get one, but as far as Fancy and Black Widow, those songs went to number one. I don't know, and Problem went to number one. I don't think it's difficult after some time has gone by, especially now. It's difficult for somebody who was such a top selling artist to be that top selling artist again. What's your name? It's like Mariah Carey or Beyonce. But like at the same time, it's just like you have to be very careful. I said early on, I said Camila is needs to be careful about how this fame, kind of controls the situation, because getting up there like that, you rise fast, you fall just as fast, if not faster. It, it's a parabola. It's a parabola. When you have a steady climb, that's like a linear equation. Okay, you have to. It's a steady climb. You're gonna keep on going, keep on going, keep on going. But when you get up to that plateau, you can go right back down. Oh, let me see. Dang, I missed him talking about Normani. I think you did the last time too. I'll have to rewind. Yeah, I talked about Normani of the first like half hour of this live stream. I was talking about the video that I finally watched. Um, but yeah, so slow and steady wins the race. I always say that. Look at how slowly Love Lies climbed the charts. It kept climbing and climbing and climbing and climbing and climbing until it was number one, and then it stayed at number one for a minute. And it was in the top 10 for the longest. So a steady climb is always really good. I mean, look at where Havana's at right now. I'm just saying. Career. Everybody slow down. Everybody slow down. I forgot the damn lyrics of the song. Could you just be real? Don't be scared to feel this. Make the world go still. That's my song. I like the like dun, dun, and then I like how it changes meter in the other part, and it's like a smooth like R&B, and then it goes into like this house sound. They did a good job on that song, Calvin Harris. Um, oh no, Nice Guy Prince, he quit his job to do YouTube full time. He has patrons though. See, I can't do YouTube full time because I don't have a big enough following, and not a lot of people. I mean, for what I do, I can't really ask people to like pay me to make content because it's not that great. Uh, and yeah, I mean, I've started to do like the whole voiceover thing, but it's gonna take a while for me to really like get really good at it. And then even then, I feel like I still won't be able to like ask. I wouldn't be able to like start a like I have a Patreon, but I haven't been asking people to actually follow me and donate and stuff to Patreon because why? Um, Adrian does hate Camila. I remember he called her Camila Cabeza. Oh my god. He knows what it. Oh, I love when he drags her. He be dragging everybody except for, our faves, her, Chloe and Halle, Janelle Monae, and Normani. He stands them. Normani's album needs to come out first, then we'll see the strength of her ability to capture an audience over time. Her push with Dancing with a Stranger and Waves has been good for me so far. Hmm. Oh yeah. Um, Streaming Love Lives. I mean, I listen to Love Lives like almost every day, almost every day. I've been listening to Waves more though. But see, the thing is, like, mine is not contributing to streams because I actually bought them, so I don't think that that actually counts. I don't know why. Waves is such a good song. Honestly, it is so. It's kind of genius, and with the way that it goes, it literally the musicality on that song is that of Waves, that pulsing, the way like you in the beginning, you hear the boom 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 like that in itself is like a pulsing like a wave, and then even her vocals are like waves. Like it and even in Black's part, he has this flow about him that's really like syncopated in a way that you can envision kind of like a changing in frequency. I can went up and down, yeah, no, try to ride slow, deep, till the time. Like he's in between the beat, and it kind of listen. It's because people really don't know music like that. It has to have like a hot beat. What's the beat? Actually, I love the beat of Waves, but like there's so much more to it, and that's how you know that they really took their time with that song to really make it good. Because I mean, come on. Have you heard about Normani working with Vivo first looked artist? I don't know about that. I've noted that in the Dancing with a Stranger video, um, like when she's dancing, even like the dynamics in the songs, like she hits those with her movements. Um, oh gosh, when she did the dun, 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 like in Dancing with a Stranger during her verse, I think was it during her verse? I'm trying to make sure. No, I don't want to get copyright strikes, but I'm trying to see here. Dancing with a stranger. Hold on. Yeah, it's like bells that go ding, 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 during her verse, and she goes. I'm like, oh my gosh, come on now. Do you? Oh gosh, do you watch Zach Campbell? No, I don't. No, I really don't. Um, sometimes I can be over the top, but he's beyond that, and I can't watch him for very long, and so I just stopped watching him altogether. Well, yeah, I mean, Normani's from Houston. They better play it in Houston. They better play it in Houston. That's where she's from. Oh gosh, the Cardi B thing. Do you think that Cardi deserved the Grammy? She's smart as hell, going off on people and quitting Instagram only to come back a few hours and announce a song. See, yes, okay, so that's the thing about it is I feel like she won the Grammy more on the fact that she has a good story. She's relatable to a lot of people, um, and all that. The album itself was, pretty cohesive, but I wouldn't say that it was album. It wasn't like best album out of all the other ones that were there. Um, but I won't say that she didn't deserve it because she did put a lot of work into it. Now the problem with all of that is, Justin, can you turn that down? Because then I'm gonna have Square Enix on my ass too. Um, he's playing Kingdom Hearts 3. Um, yes, this is actually true. This is true. Unfortunately, this is it's just how it is. But people really didn't need to go all off like that. I mean, it's just an award. I feel like I'm sorry I'm like sitting like this, but like I'm trying to like relax my back. I feel like people really like just they just don't want they and it was mostly Barb's, unfortunately, going at her because they're just upset because Nikki has not gotten a Grammy. But let's not pretend like awards are everything. I mean, you have so many different. Listen, one of my favorite artists of all time, Brian McKnight, has been nominated for I think 16 Grammy awards and has won zero. Now let that sink in. Brian McKnight, in my opinion, one of the greatest male vocalists of the 90s and 2000s. I mean, hands down, has one of the best voices that I have ever heard. Control, his precision. Oh my god. Recently he did like this thing and he's sporting a gray beard and everything now. But like recently he did something and he like performed some of his old classics and his voice still sounds just as good if not better. I'm just like, damn. I'm like, and this man has, and he's incredibly talented. He can play like multiple instruments, trumpet and trumpet, guitar, piano, bass, all that stuff. Like he can play so many instruments. He's multi-talented. You don't have a Grammy? That's why I'm just like, it doesn't make any sense. That's how you know, like people are just like in it. Like that's how you know that it's like a bunch of politics. Oh yeah, okay, okay. Let me get on let me get on Smokey Norfolk right now. I need you now, Lord, I need you now. Oh, listen, I've got something to say. You cannot be mad that somebody who was not originally a gospel singer won for a gospel, award. I mean, it is what it is. The song I've never listened to it, but it's Tori Kelly, and I mean, come on, really, you were mad? Step your game up, okay? Step it up. Then you won't be mad because you'll actually get the award. That's all I have to say about that. Like they're gonna always be in their feelings for what? I mean, for what? Just y'all have the stellar awards. Like leave it alone. Leave it alone. Oh, that's really sad. Was it? Uh, oh my god. I'm so mad I'll have to rewind this live. I mean, hey, listen, we touched on a lot of topics tonight. Um, this is a long live, and I haven't even gotten to everything yet. Ugh, we got sidetracked, and we were talking about my music that hasn't been released. Um, it's a lot. No, it's this one. I didn't actually make a separate video for it because I didn't have the time this week, and I didn't want to let too much time go by without me talking about it. So I just decided to share like my thoughts on it, like in this live stream. Um, I don't know how many people will actually watch it, but I mean, it is what it is. Yeah. Oh my god. Oh. Oh. Yeah, I'm tired. Shoot. Mm. I really don't want to make it a white versus black thing, but it's kind of true, unfortunately. And I have to always school like certain people on it because they don't understand. A lot of like, and then some people always say, "Oh, why are you so like, why are you always do that? You always like are so like pro black all the time, and you just say black people this, black people. You always want to defend black people." I'm like, yeah, because nobody else defends us when things happen, when things go on with us. We are the only ones who really stick up for ourselves. Um, and we're the only ones who should, honestly, because I mean, it's happening to us. Just like I can't tell somebody who is, somebody who's Asian or somebody who's Latino, just the same as I couldn't tell them about their struggles and about how they should handle it, then they should not be able to do the same to black people. Like you can't tell me about my struggles, about what I go through as a black person. So yeah. Why does Sean perform at every award show? I don't know. I mean, it's just the only thing that was different about this performance is that Miley Cyrus was there. Everything else was pretty much the same. He gets on stage and he performs the same way every single time. And I'm just like, it's getting redundant at this point. You can only go so long just on looks alone. I mean, I don't know. My mom hates him. She cannot stand Shawn Mendes. She just does not like his voice, and she just doesn't. Chloe and Halle deserved more. It's true. Yes. Okay, so she has some stuff with. Okay, so she's worked Babyface. First of all, he's a legend. Missy Elliott, another legend. Okay, and then Big Frida, an innovator for music. I mean, everybody's using. Was it Bounce? Everybody's using that music. Okay, everybody's using it. Without Big Frida actually knowing half the time. So sad. Can take advantage of this like just no. And then Nicki Minaj. Okay, so I'm hoping that it. I was talking about this. I was talking about the best new artist curse. I don't know. I said this too in my last live stream. I said that Dua Lipa, the thing about Dua Lipa is I feel like she will probably succumb to the curse. I because she's not that interesting. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. She is really not that interesting. And her stage presence is non-existent half the time. I never know what she's doing on stage. It's very awkward a lot of the time, and I don't know. It's just me. Like she has okay music, but it ends there. I'm just not sure. I'm really just not sure. Um, she'll be successful with the next album that she releases, next few projects. She'll definitely do it. It'll probably go to number one, and then after that, the hype surrounding her will probably like diminish a little bit. That's what I said in my last live stream. That's just my prediction and my opinion on it. Um, at least Dua won't end up like BB. Well, BB Rexa has she won a Grammy? Did BB Rexa? What's up with BB Rexa? What's not up with BB Rexa? People talk about BB. I don't even care about BB. I don't even like her like that. BB Rexa. You have to cover a Dua Lipa dance. Ew, why? Ew, no. All she's weird. Like anytime that I've seen Dua Lipa dance, it's just like random running across the stage or like some weird like hand movements and just I don't know. I don't know. I'm not sure about that. Oh, yeah, I did do that. I did that on purpose to mess with y'all. But no, I'll change it cuz actually I was wondering who would actually catch on to that. Because since people always call him six lag, I was just like, it's now he's six black. I'll change it back. Originally, I had it correctly on there, but then I'm like, let me mess with them and see who catches on. I hate it. God, there we go. BB wrote for Shiny. Well, she didn't write it. So wait a minute, hold on. Actually, yeah, that's right. She was the original on Lucifer. That was a long time ago too. Oh my god. That was a long time ago. Lucifer was released in 2011. Yeah, the yeah. It's weird that she actually did. It's sad the way Alessia Cara. I, my I'm gonna say it again. My mom hates Alessia Cara. She doesn't like a lot of people out here right now. I'm not crazy about her either, but I respect her artistry, kind of. What is crazy thing? What is the crazy thing about this guy's wife complaining about Nani saying she edited the video? Mm-mm. I can see her doing something with Frank Ocean. Um, but yeah, I didn't know BB Rexa wrote like actually I knew about it, but I forgot. And over time, you do forget about stuff like that. It's like tiny things, but she's been around a minute because that song came out in 2011. Hello, hello. Still my favorite songs. Still one of my favorite songs. And ayo, oh oh, ayo, ayo, side to side, side to side, now back about it. um, I don't know anything about that. Oh, I don't know why she feels like I don't know why is somebody's wife in it. Like what Christian? You like Amory? That's a random ass question. That's random. But yeah, I do actually. I kind of like her. She's all right. I haven't obviously I haven't heard from her in a minute. The last thing that I know that she released something recently, like maybe 2 or a year or 2 ago. But the last thing that I remember her is what's it? Emery. And then she's like, I done heard them all talk. Wait, I done heard them all talk. But how much they want me? But ain't nobody put it on me. Keep doing what you do, cause they never done to me. Keep doing what you do, cause they never done to me. Well, all her songs sound like that. And the other one, there's just one thing that got me tripping. It's just one thing that got me tripping. Of course, we know that that whole go-go style was stolen and retracted and redacted and very whatever you want to call it for Beyonce and Sierra and everybody else that was coming out around the same time. Poor thing. I mean, you were an innovator of music and they get stolen yet again. Did you like Sierra's new song? I haven't heard it yet. Just like Ashanti. Listen, every single time that it's funny that every single time that J Lo performs, they're always like, "Oh, where's Ashanti?" Like, those are Ashanti's vocals playing, and like J Lo's mic is off, but they have Ashanti in the back. And it's funny because Ashanti was at the Grammy Awards too. People are like, "Oh, Ashanti getting ready to sing for J Lo." I'm like, "Oh my god." Oh, listen, we're not gonna get on that again. I already talked to. Go see my last live stream if you want to know about what I think about that performance. It was god awful, and everybody's like, "Oh my god, it wasn't bad," and all that. I was like, do you know anything about Motown? Majority of the people who said that the performance was good have no idea about Motown and about what it stood for, what it was about. It was a pillar for black music, for culture and everything else. Like it was one of the pioneers for innovation of black styles and black people and music in general. Um, oh my God, like you just you cannot not do it justice. You know what I mean? You can't half-ass it. And I feel like that the whole thing was half-assed. It's like just no. It was like really bad karaoke. We were saying that. We were saying that too. We're like, listen, if anybody gonna do a tribute for like J Lo, I said let's get I was like, let's get SZA. Um, oh God, you know it. Anyway, we're not gonna talk about the Grammys again because that was a shit show. Um, moving on, I had mentioned something about black versus white and all that stuff, and it's just it's sad that we have to keep on like talking about it. But anyway, let's move along. Ju- like absolutely not. To answer your question, Deandra, I don't think so. They were recently on Stephen Colbert, and then they were also on Good Morning America, which, yes, they have a lot of popularity, but I don't think that they'll go off the same way that BTS did. It's great that they were able to get themselves platforms on here, but I'm not sure. Um, the hype surrounding them, to me, has kind of diminished in a way, and it's mostly because of the lack of consistency with their promotions and also their music. It's just I don't know. There's a lot. There's a lot. What's up, little mix? Oh, stop. I mean, I did a whole video on who did I do a video on? I did a video on BTS, but I also mentioned Blackpink because it needed to be talked about. I also mentioned Blackpink in the video and how it's really sad how these companies they get out there and they keep on scouting for new talent as if they don't already have talent with them. How about you try honing the talent that you already have, making them really big and successful, and then possibly moving on to why do you have like 8 sets of people ready to go year after year after year after year after year? It does not make sense. It really doesn't. I still don't get the BTS hype. I don't either. Jenny is so lazy. I mean, she actually put a lot of work into the performance on Good Morning America. I was good. I was like, okay. Somebody, I was like, okay. Somebody said something really really foul. They were like, the reason why she had been so lazy before is because her legs, because she could hardly walk after getting dicked down by Kai. Ah, Lord, people are so messy. Yeah, no, the thing is about Blackpink is for some reason they really rely heavily on backing track and most of the time they're singing over the track. Like it's just like nah. Like that's not it. That's not it. It really isn't. And the same thing goes for BTS. BTS does the same thing. People don't really think like, they do the same thing. Heavy MR, heavy backing track. And I understand they're moving around a lot, but limit the amount of movements that you do then or whatever have you. But you can tell that they're not like as comfortable singing and dancing at the same time as they probably should be. I don't know. To me, it's just don't do it if you can't actually pull it off well, And I was saying the same thing about Fifth Harmony earlier on. It's just like whenever dancing was involved, performances were less qualitative. It's just like if you can't do both at the same time effectively, then just don't do it. Limit it to one thing. The problem is I wonder how Tanache. It does take a lot of training. You do have to kind of practice doing. See, I used to be able to do it. I'm not that great with it anymore. But it takes like incredible breath control. When I was younger, listen, I was a firecracker. I was in this musical Oklahoma, and I was like one of the characters, whatever his name was, Turner, something Turner, and hmm, and I had the song like what is it, Kansas City, and I was dancing and doing all the steps and stuff while singing, full on singing. Like everyone was like, "Oh my god! Like, how is he so good at doing that?" Everybody else would be out of breath and they wouldn't be able to do it, but I was able to do it. And I never really thought of it as being all that, crazy or insane. I never thought about it as being like incredibly like rare or whatever. But people are like, "Oh my, like that's a talent. Like you can actually sing and dance at the same time." I'm like, "Oh, okay." Something that I lost over time because I wasn't as active in my late teens. It's something I'm trying to get back into now, but it does take a lot. And then also with my breath, my breathing was a lot better back then because I didn't have so many issues with my sinuses. But I'm trying to get over that as well. But anyway, yeah, and to me in DC, Kelly was always the better dancer. She was always real smooth with it. She still is. She still is. People don't give her enough credit, but to me, that's why Kelly was always my favorite. Um, Yeah, it does, but it honestly heavy cardio is really what helps with it because you can help it helps to strengthen the heart and the breathing and everything, the lungs, so that you are able to sustain more. You're able to sustain more breath while you're moving around, but you have to know when to breathe so you know how to. Yeah. So look at SNSD. Oh, shade. Um. um I'm gonna say that the stronger vocalists in the group were able to dance and sing at the same time just because they had to practice being in the forefront and singing while doing it. The only ones I know for a fact that really were not that great at it were, oh god, Sunny. Jessica was hit or miss, and the thing is, she was my favorite. But I have to be honest in saying that sometimes she was pitchy, and I know it had a lot to do with the dancing as well. But they really did train hard. And if you like watch like one of the first programs that they were ever a part of called Girls Go to School or whatever, having School of Rock, um, they um, they really did train. Like when they were like doing like Into the New World, they really did train to be able to sing that song live, um, and stuff. But then they would still like lip sync, which I didn't really understand. But at the same time, like they really did train hard for it. Um, Yuna was the one. Yuna was. I don't want to say that she was useless, but Homegirl really did not have a definite role. Like what kind of what the visual? Not when every single girl in Girl Generation was attractive. I feel like by what Korea's beauty standards, Yuna was the most beautiful. Like she had like really white skin. Like they like the white skin. That's why I. I always give like K-pop the side eye anyway because how anti-black they can be. They literally like would make fun of the fact that Yuri, to me, is the most beautiful of the group. But Yuri had darker skin than everybody else did, and they will always kind of like shade her for it. I used to think that that was messed up. They did the same thing to Kai. Again, the arguably the best looking guy in EXO, they shade the mess out of him. Um, and I think they also used to shade what's a face. Oh yeah, all the time in Vix, they would shade the hell out of N. N is like my complexion, for God's sakes. and they shade the mess out of N for being like tan. I'm just like, damn, like Taeyeon, but she reminds me of Camila. Nah, Taeyeon. Okay, Taeyeon. First of all, Taeyeon has a way better voice than Camila, and her personality was, yeah, she has that quirky personality, but she also, it wasn't annoying. It wasn't to the point where it was annoying. The only ones to me who were really annoying, I don't know why I found Tiffany annoying. And for like the better part of like 5 years that I was following them, I found Tiffany to be annoying. Um, Young always up in the front trying to be somebody's leader. She always trying to be the spokesperson. I'm just like, girl, sit down. Um, yeah, it really does take a lot of effort. I've been on here for like an hour and a half, and we haven't talked about Jussie Smollett, which I honestly, okay, so he, what the hell? I'm just gonna have to let the phone ring. Oh my god. Okay, so one moment. I have to move like my microphone in order to get up.
Oh yes.
Okay, so I believe what Jussie is saying. Listen, okay, so it's difficult, but at the same time, why would he really go to these lengths to try and get some attention? Why? It just doesn't make a whole lot of sense because he's already somebody who gets a lot of attention because he's a public figure, because he's on Empire, and because he also does music and everything. So he doesn't need the extra attention. He's honestly not somebody who likes all of the extra attention a lot of the time because he likes to be a private person. So honestly, I just don't. I just don't know. I really just don't know. What if the guys who attacked him found a way to delete the videos? I mean, hey, there could be so many different things. Like, you have, okay, first of all, let me call out some of these guys out here. Hold on, it's my mom. One moment. Hello? Hi. Sorry. Um, I gotta call out some of these queens out here. Okay, some of these guys are out here really trying to go in. There's this one guy in particular who swears all up and down that he knows for a fact that he was out here trying to find some street meat, as they put it, and then he got beat down by, and then they're like, oh, that's such like a nice area to be in and all this stuff. That doesn't mean that there's no crime. Oh, it's such a rich area. Listen to me when I tell you, I used to live, I was, first of all, I was born in Morristown, New Jersey. I lived in Scotch Plains. I've lived in a nice area of Queens, St. Albans. I've lived in some like high upscale areas in my lifetime. And the biggest misconception is that there is little to no crime in those areas. The area I live in right now, it's not upscale, but like it's quiet of most of the time. But that doesn't mean that there's nothing going on. A lot of the time in those really rich areas, the reason why you never hear a whole lot of crime going on is because they cover the shit up. Okay. And so instead of being stupid, instead of being so dumb, instead of thinking, oh, because it's in like a rich area where there's cameras everywhere and all this and that doesn't mean that nothing happened. That doesn't mean that something can't happen. I mean, I really, right. And the police are also on the side of the people who pay their taxes. They're still on the side of people, they have connections with the police department. So much stuff happens in this area that I live in right now. Majority of those cases are thrown out because the cops are so close knit with certain people in the community that have pull. Okay, one of the friends that I went to school with, they own like half of the land on the other side of the mountain. There was something that went on with one of their kids, and we didn't hear any more of it. Nothing. Why? Because they have so much pull. If you have enough pull, if you have enough connections within the Justice Department, and that's why the justice system is so broken anyway. But in these like really rich areas, it's even more corrupt because money talks. And you can literally pay off some of these cops to keep their mouths shut about something or take evidence away, tamper with evidence. They really think that um just because an area is known for being like so crime free or so rich and so high upscale that it means that there is nothing going on. Sorry, you're sadly mistaken. You're sadly mistaken. I've spent so much time growing up with white people, okay? Some of them rich, some of them not. And a lot of the time they get over simply because of the fact that they're not only because they're white, but because they have money and they can pay to cover things up for themselves. And that's the tea. Why don't you have your blind closed? Is that really something that I mean, if somebody really want to come up in here, they're gonna have to fight me and my brother because we're not going in without a fight. Because I've been I've been on this live since before the sunset, so that's why. Let me just start. I close them. I usually do too. This time around, I just forgot to. Like the one in front of me, I had open, but then I closed it. The one over there is a little harder to get to, so a lot of times it stays open until I like go over there, and I haven't been over there. Look. Oh, I guess we're moving on to the next thing. Monique versus Steve Harvey. Have you ate yet? Come on now. Do I have to be a grammar Nazi? Have I eaten? No. I had, what did I eat? Oh my god. I had Chinese food earlier, but I feel like my mom is gonna probably bring something in later. Um I've noticed that anytime that somebody like tries to type in something about Donald Trump, it like holds the comment for review. You notice that? Like, you probably don't notice that, but like your comment just now, you said he was one of the first to go see Trump. Now look at his ass. It has nothing to do with the word ass because people have been saying worse things over here for that. So it has everything to do with Trump. I've noticed that, and I feel like that's a thing. Look, the government, the government is even monitoring us on YouTube. What the hell? Ridiculous. Ugh, we're turning into a totalitarian dictatorship. I just feel it. We need to get him out. Okay, so recently, I forget how I think it was like a couple days ago or a day ago. Okay, so um Monique went on to Steve Harvey's talk show, and obviously they were talking about recently when Monique was on her little campaign, well, her large campaign, to kind of bring awareness to the fact that black people and black women in general are not being are they're not really being appreciated, and they're not being paid what they are actually worth. Um, and so she called for like a ban, like a boycott the Netflix. Remember that happening and all that. And then she also called out Lee Daniels, Oprah, and Tyler Perry because of everything that happened with her and Precious after. Oh, oh, you were talking about that, but I'm talking about this. That Trump thing doesn't really. I don't care. Right. Okay. So with that Netflix deal, and thank you for mentioning that. With the Netflix deal, she wouldn't have been able to actually tour and stuff, um, as long as the contract was up, which means that she really could not get any other income. She would be closed in with just that deal of a couple $100,000 or whatever have you, and then she couldn't do anything else to get more money for herself. And why would you want to restrict yourself to just one source of income? Why would you want to do that when you could tour around and have your comedy shows and also use that to promote your Netflix single? I mean, your Netflix series. Why in the world would you not go on tour to promote whatever it is that you're bringing out? That is the reason why an artist goes on tour. Whether or not you are a singer, rapper, comedian, comedians go on tour too. They go on tours so that they can bring awareness to whatever projects they're working on. So it's like, why would you enter a deal into like that? Why would you do that? You wouldn't, right? So people really got upset with Monique without actually trying to understand why it is that she was saying all the things she was saying and why she was doing things the way she was doing them. And when she went on to Steve Harvey's show, they were like going back and forth about it. And then he tried, that's the one thing I don't like about Steve Harvey is that he is so, I don't know, holier than thou a lot of the times. And he's really like condescending. He always thinks he knows it all. He always thinks that he knows best. And it's really, really irritating. Like, even when Kiki Palmer was on there, like, he was like really treating her like, they were like kind of joking back and forth, but it was kind of like it was kind of shady the way that he was kind of like telling her, "Oh, you didn't do what I told you to do, and that's not the guys that I was talking to you about, and this and that and the other." And I'm just like, "Are you her father?" It's just like I felt a little uneasy about the way that he was talking to her, and then I felt like a little upset about the way, a little bit more than upset about the way that he was talking to Monique. And I'm just like, he's like, "Oh, you have to do this." Like, stop telling people what they have to do. For one thing, like, I feel like you didn't need to go that route with that. If you're gonna bring her on there to talk down to her, why bring her on at all? I feel like you just wanted to feel like you were doing something for someone else, but you really weren't. You weren't doing anything for anybody except making yourself look like a fool. Like it really didn't make any sense. I'm glad people are dragging him all over social media because that's no way. First of all, it's no way to talk to somebody. If you really wanted to talk to her about that issue, you could have had her sit down, listen to what she has to say, and then be about that. But no, you decided to insert yourself in and project your own issues onto it. I just know. And then he wanted to say something about the best way to help poor people is not to be one of them. What kind of logic is that? The best way to help poor people is to help them with whatever platform and resources that you have. That is what we are supposed to do as a community. If there's somebody who's not doing as well as we are, it is kind of like, I wouldn't say it's our responsibility or our duty, but it definitely is something that you should want to do, right? You should want to help your neighbor if they can't do for themselves as much as they really should be able to, or as much as they need to. You should be able to help them. You should want to help them. Um, Yeah, that's the problem with the black community, unfortunately. And it all falls back to systemic racism. It all falls back to that because of the fact that back in the day, when everything was going to slavery and everything else, segregation, there was little to no resources for any black people, and so it was almost like we had to fight for education and resources and all that stuff. Now we are to the point where we don't necessarily have to fight each other for those positions because they're all there. If we want them, we can go and get them. But for some strange reason, we still have the mentality like only we can do it for ourselves and we can't bring anybody else in, and there's not enough room for more than one black person, more than one black entertainer, more than one black this, more than one black that. That kind of logic is invalid, is obsolete in 2019 because there is resources everywhere for us to consume. There's information everywhere for us to learn new things, for us to apply ourselves into new categories, for us to fit ourselves into new niches, new categories. There is no reason for any one black person to feel like they have to be, or they can only be the only black person in whatever category, in whatever field they're in, or whatever they do. That whole crabs in a barrel mentality is the reason why I feel like a lot of times we cannot move forward as a community, as a population, as one force. We could be so, because we have the talent, we have the drive, we have the abilities. We just lack the amount of support and teamwork for each other a lot of the time. You see all of these white people supporting each other, even if they suck. Latinos, they do it for each other. Asians, Indian, like they all do it for each other. Why is it that black people can't do it? It's sad. It's really sad. We rely so much on the white man to do everything for us that it's come to the point that where we feel like we can't do things for ourselves without the help of someone else, without the help of somebody, unfortunately, without the help of somebody white, without the help of of like some type of privilege, or somebody with some type of privilege to do things with us. And he's like, oh, you got to know how to play the game and this and that and the other. I was like, not everybody is like that. Some people are more vocal. Some people want to go out there and really bring to the attention and make people uncomfortable. Sometimes you need to make people uncomfortable so that they realize that what they're doing and the way that they're thinking is not right. Sometimes they need to feel uncomfortable. Right. I mean, a lot of these black people are elite to the point where they can put their money together and really make something big for us. It's really sad, and people like Steve Harvey really just contribute to the the overall negativity that the black community promote, like that the black community projects. And He's not helping the situation at all. He's not. Everything that Monique is talking about is true. Whether or not she's doing it for just herself or she's doing it for the community it doesn't really matter at this point because she's bringing up the issues, something more than what everybody else even tries to do. And unfortunately, we got to. It's sad. I don't know, but yeah, yeah. There's just own network should be bigger. It should be, but you know what? They had a bad start because it was like a whole lot of like mess on own. Now things are a little bit better. They have some scripted shows and stuff. Excuse me, Queen Sugar, Have Nots, all that stuff, and Greenleaf. Those are good shows. But like it's still, Do you know that we had to pay for own? First of all, isn't it like a basic cable channel? It should have been included, but no, we had to pay for own to get it. Uh, with DirecTV, with Blue Ridge, which is like the area's kind of like a Comcast. If you're in the area with Comcast or Cox, um, we didn't have BET, and it was because BET is not a popular station in this area, so we took it out of the package, and it's not a part of our channels. And I'm like, again, a basic channel, a basic cable channel. It's not taking anything away from you guys. You're just being funny. I don't know. I don't know what to say. I need her to listen. The Black church community, they're trash too. Trash. Um, the, God, we can get on. Let's not go to religion. That's why I subscribed for a minute to Slay TV because they do have like a lot of they have like shows and stuff. Obviously, like Justin and Adrian put me onto that, but with Slay TV, they have a lot of like Black LGBT content. So if you're looking for that, definitely try to subscribe. I think it's like $4.99 a month or something. It's not like expensive to have a subscription. I don't know what they have on there now because I let my subscription run out after that show that they had on went off. I don't even know if they bought another season. But anyway, I am starting to get tired, so I'm gonna get off of here. We had a nice long discussion. I like how how involved everybody was tonight. Um, Definitely check out my two voiceover videos if you haven't checked them out. The first one is on BTS. The second one is Brandy. I don't know who I'm going to cover in my next one. I've recorded a couple, but I just don't know which one I'm going to put out first. We'll see when it happens. But anyway, I hope everybody has a great night. Do your thing this weekend. I'm probably gonna be sleeping for most of it. I'm getting my hair cut tomorrow. Finally. And yeah, look out for my music too. It's coming. It's coming. It's definitely coming. I can't really tell you when it's coming, but it's coming, and we'll see how it does. Give it Hey, 'cause I got you. Yeah, yeah, I got you. Hey, I wanna put that thing on cruise, probably your favorite tunes, everything I do, everything I do, I do for you. Hey, I got you. Hey, Listen, and this is my intro for the channel. So all right, that's it. I'm not gonna keep on doing that to you guys.